Hey, welcome to my newest video, Miles Out, right here. I'm glad you clicked on this video because what you're going to see is something that you probably haven't seen before. You've probably seen people put potato chips on some chicken, and here we have some chicken drumsticks. I'm going to put a type of potato chip on there you may never have heard of. These bad boys are called Grippo's chips. They come out of Cincinnati. They've been in business, a family-owned business, for 5 generations for at least 100 years. These chips are barbecue flavored. They're not like any barbecue flavor you've ever tried. They've got a sweet and savory that's typical of barbecue, but they are completely loaded with savory seasoning all on the outside. And then on top of it, it's got a really spicy kick at the end of it, but you keep going back for more because that sweet kicks off that heat, and then it comes back and you just keep eating them. They're absolutely delicious. My mouth is even watering right now just thinking about it. My biggest challenge is going to try to keep the breading on the chicken while it cooks. We'll see if we can do that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to need to dry all my chicken. I'm going to do a few things first. So I've got a spot for my flour, I've got a spot for my eggs, and I've got a spot for my chips that I'm going to grind up in here. I'm going to just crush it with my own bare hands like it was meant to be. So I got some regular ground flour. I'm not even going to measure it. I'm probably going to put in about, let's go with about a half cup to about a 3/4 of a cup. Got a little side thing of salt, probably about 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons. Now remember, it's only going to coat the outside, so we need definitely plenty of flavor to go in. It's going to be a really thin layer. Probably about 1.5 tablespoons of garlic powder, and I've got some pepper. We're going to put some fresh cracked pepper right in there. I feel like I'm working at Olive Garden right now. Say when. When. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up with my hand. We're just going to make it real simple. And I've got 9 pieces, so that should cut all 9 pieces. But remember, you want your chicken dry. So I brought these paper towels. I'm going to go ahead and get out a pan so I can put all these on, and we'll use that as a transfer tray. I'm going to keep a knife nearby just in case I need to do any trimming. I've already dried a few, so I'm going to dry the rest of these. I want them as dry as possible, because if these things get wet, everything will just slough off of it. Ones on the bottom certainly are kind of juicy, moist. Right. Beautiful. Now these are going to go around the circle and come back in here. First, I need to prep these. So now it's time for our chips. Smells delicious. Might be enough. Put a little more in there just in case. I'm going to come over there and show you. Look at these chips. Look how much seasoning that's on them. This is every single chip that's in the bag. That's just not the heavy coated one. This is where it's at. to find out. I'm gonna set it right here. We're gonna start the fire. It's gonna take about 15 minutes for the charcoal to heat up before we can dump it in there. So let's get that started. So I've got some ads from the newspaper. I'm gonna crumble them up. There we go. We're gonna flip it around. Now we're gonna put some charcoal in. Yes, I lost one. So now let's get it torched. Like to light two ends of it. There's something about burning newspaper. I don't know what it is, but it just smells like you're about to eat some really, really good food. Yeah, but the ink doesn't smell very good. We're gonna clean up a little. Put these in here. Pressure them up a little bit more. In they go. Right. So now that these are dry, we're gonna dredge them in the flour, coat them up, put them in here. Now we're gonna completely coat them. There it is. Make sure you get it all covered, all the nooks and crannies. Toss it in here, get it all covered. Get everything completely covered. Here you go. We want tons and tons of flavor. Don't be afraid of any flavor. We got two more. I think we have enough to make it. Alright, we can pack this last one tight. Yes, let's get it all in there. I want to eat them, but I know that's not a good idea. I smell the charcoal getting hot right now. Yes. So now while we wait for this bad boy to heat up, we're going to heat up. Something about a cool, sweet smoke of a pipe. This one here specifically, not that you asked, but I'm going to tell you anyway, is a very mild tobacco mixed with a dark rum flavored tobacco, and it's just delicious. If I'm not doing that one, I'm usually mixing the dark rum with the cherry vanilla, and that's just wonderful. Alright, so we're throwing fire right about halfway point, and the rest of it's hot on top. So I'm going to go ahead and dump it in now. Got these just in case I need to put them in. I'm probably going to miss some. Alright, so I'm going to spread these out. Yeah, alright. There we go. So I could have used this. I'm gonna go ahead and close this up, and we're gonna make it hot. We're gonna give it some air by opening up the bottom, opening up the top, let it heat up. It's already coming out pretty good, so it's breathing well. I'm gonna leave them both about 3/4 of the way, and we're probably gonna look for about 375. It's already coming up, and we'll come back when it's right up to temp and we've got a little more ash on these charcoal briquettes. So because this is kind of hot, I'm going to go ahead and raise this up one level, kind of keep it towards the top, so we're going to get the heat, but we're not going to get all the direct heat as much. You got 9. All right, can we close it? Let's smooth this one in a little bit. Let's go ahead and close her down. Perfect. Let's lock her in. Let her rise up to temp and let her cook. So this has been about 10-15 minutes in. It's smoking really nice. I've got some heat coming through. We're holding temp. I'd like to keep it around 350 to 375 if I can. And when we're done, I'm going to go ahead and put it on this rack here. You can get these at like a Cabela's or any sort of outdoor sports store. It's really good for a lot of small items. You can pick things up in the smoker without having to scoop them off, move everything all at once. The other thing it's handy for is if you're doing a grilled sandwich, you put it on here to rest. It keeps that bottom of that sandwich from getting soggy, and same thing with our chicken. It's going to keep it nice and crispy on all sides while you let it rest. Juices redistribute. It's going to be the best chicken. Some of these got pretty dark. Still seems like more of a direct heat than an indirect heat, so maybe this thing is a little too small, but no worries. Alright. So it's been about 25 minutes. We've already flipped it once, but I'm going to go ahead and rotate the grate, see if I can do that without causing a problem. Oh yeah, can we do it? Can we do it? Oh yes. So what I'm seeing is the air on the bottom opens on this side and it comes out the top. So the side that the air comes in, it heats the most. So this thing actually is really handy to actually lift everything up and rotate things around. Those are 9 drumsticks on top of a cast iron grate, and I picked it up and rotated it with this. So it's a pretty decent little tool that's handy. Well, some of these got, well, you know, a little too much done, but not all of them. So we're going to pull these off. Close her up. I may end up throwing some breakfast sausage I have on here just because it needs to be cooked. So I'll open it up again and let her heat back up. So I quickly threw together some hamburger patties. I had some raw hamburger meat, and so I put some salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder on it. Mix it in. I'm going to throw some breakfast sausages on here. This is what I guess we would call meal prep. I mean, it's still hot. Might as well use it for its full potential, so you get a bonus something or other. Alright, so moment of truth. I'm going to give this a shot. It's still probably really hot. It's around 180 degrees internal, but hopefully it's cool enough on the outside. that's good. That's good. The sugars on it didn't do well with the high heat. But let me tell you, you still taste the sugars, the barbecue seasoning, charcoal. Obviously the chicken comes through. It's beautiful. Ooh, there it is. And it's still got the heat. See if you can hear this. That's where it's at. So keep it around 300. That's a lesson we learned today. Hot. Oh, so good. Thank you so much for coming here with me today on uncharted territories with this beautiful Grippo's smoked chicken. Partially smoked, partially grilled, whatever. Even the burnt bits, still good. It's tender, it's juicy. Maintains its crispiness even 20 minutes after I've taken it off. Woo! Almost got my eyes watering, it's so hot. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. And then, I'll see you next time. Miles out, right here. It's burnt. They say we are what we eat, and I am a carbon-based life form. Not an edible. Not the best. Be careful about your sugars, folks.